I was going through posting all those another 3 videos, altogether 6 videos, and writing up for the description. So it's like learning of the learning, interestingly. What did I find? Each of those 6 videos, I've broken up 5 minutes or so each. It's kind of like a random talk, but I had a sense that I have my root at the core. So as if just listening to heart, if I just say anything I want from whatever happened a few days ago, it should be okay. So that was the trust I had in myself. So typically you do this in your mind without talking with anyone, but I was basically speaking out loud, kind of like a random talk or self-talk. So 5 minutes each is interesting. You have to say something and then not too long, so you capture, and then you have a break of 1 minute or less, maybe 20 seconds or something, and then you just kind of settle all the things having said, and the key point is clear. And then as soon as I have a little quiet time, the idea pops up. And then the idea is expressed in the next video. And it's interesting for me to see what comes out and how I can talk about it. So I have those multiple things going on, but again, after 5 minutes, it kind of stops. And then I ask the question, so what? And then I have another one. Since I'm trusting myself from my heart to come up like a wisdom or compassion, it was just easy way to process it. And I thought, the third time, fourth time, and I thought it's coming to the point that, okay, everything is good. And I felt things are talked already, discussed to myself and possibly other person who may be listening, or maybe not, it doesn't matter. But if it's each of them separate, they can just pick any of them or look at the whole thing or listen to the whole thing if they want. But I listen and summarize the process. So each process is like a plan, do, check, act cycle, but starting with check always. Check what has been going on, what happened, and act on it to say what's the meaning of it, and then summarize, synthesize into an idea as a plan of what it means. And then it goes to the plan do. Do part is I'm not doing specifically in that instance, but doing in the sense of summarizing and leaving it, my memory in myself to settle in relation to other memories they have. So I have a trust that this is going to happen because like a samadhi situation, that break time. So things would be just passed on to the unconscious part. And as there's a need, I can access it. It's kind of like a computer programming. As I talk, I feel like that process going on. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then sixth video. And after the fourth or fifth, okay, this is enough. That's getting a little too long, and I'm getting tired. And I said enough and clarified enough, so the ending part is done. So after that, I have the 6 videos into one package too. And then after doing that too, I thought maybe I can summarize what happened. So that's what I'm doing for this. So it's the each step summary and the summary of the summary, so that I'm settled to what happened and I can forget it. That's the beauty of it, because once I organize and put in place, it's like you're cleaning up and organizing. I'm not so good at it. But you know roughly where they are, and when there's a need, you know where to go. So when you are prepared by having a samadhi in between and at the end, and the summary at the end of it, like I'm doing it now, it's helped me to clarify what's going on. And then I thought, okay, people ask me, why do you do such a YouTube long time? But I did the YouTube in the same way. If you reflect, maybe I'm just putting the logic after it happened. But there's a sense of what's happening. I want to share it for myself and possibly for others. So there's that desire. And there's certain level of how do you call it, summary and the clarification, and also the insight and the memory that I want to keep. But I don't want to keep it in my brain, so I leave it in the YouTube. It's kind of selfish, but the brain needs to kind of rest and be creative, but underneath a subconscious level. And I have gone through that, and I was sincere and truthful, and also having fun in doing it. So there's not much of a bias, but rather in the similar to samadhi state. So that's the summary that happened and captured the essence as I went along for the last 17 years or so. And, just like I do have a daily routine, and every 3 months I have the life profile thing. So there's that heartbeat of clarification. As much as we wake up, do things and sleep, or do ABC project and summarize and sleep, and instead of moving on and on and on and on, break up, do nothing. Just reflect, key point, essence, clarify, share it. Like, that's what I do right here, right now. But that's kind of like a heartbeat that can go on. And if you have this core as a base, core meaning having the samadhi state of no mind and no self, so that's breaking up each of those settings. You can keep having the samadhi with you all the time, but sometimes you go up and down into the mind and you get captured and go a little crazy and stuff. So you just need to have a break. So I'm just doing, in a sense of this 6 video trial, which someone suggested, my video is a little too long, why don't you break up? And so I tried it, listened to someone, and I'm finding, and I'm just summarizing all the process I did, and also the process I have been doing, and relating to PDCA and the Shira Samadhi Panya and all that stuff, and the life profile. So it's good, it's interesting. It's kind of like a self-justifying, and I'm sorry if I may sound like that, but it's based upon sincerity and having ownership and accountability of how I live my life. And maybe that's the reason why I can keep on going. Because the new memory comes up, new experience come up. Every time you go through it, it's just a hurdle of, I started this 6-pack video with the word little crazy, and then reflecting, and then somehow the crazy and reflection and all that process itself, we can clarify. And the case like this lady, I remember I was writing just a while ago, so I can talk about it, was that there was nothing I could do. We accepted, and we are practicing the Shira Samadhi Panya without saying it. And that's good. And I'm happy. And there are cases that wasn't like that. There was a little bit of ups and downs. And I'm not getting into it now. I don't know if I can do it or not, but it's a steady, I use the word joreki, the steady power, the process. Ride the wave of the universe as a base of clarity, ownership, and move on by acceptance, and have a quiet time, and say no to many things so that your mind doesn't go everywhere, and you know what the important thing is, and maintain that and move on. So that's the summary of the summary, not just this one for 6-pack and the summary of it, but also relating to other process, including those 17 years or whatever, as much as some of those included in this video from my early days. Just a thought. Thank you for listening.